So you're here because you want to learn more about energy work, what that is, what that means, how to do it, and I'm here to tell you about it. After this video, you will go out and have an idea of what energy work is, what it means, and how you can do it with yourself. I will do a little beginner practice with you as well that will hopefully work for you at the end of this video. And I will also tell you about how I sort of unlocked or unearthed that ability within myself to be able to feel and interact with energies more. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Anya Esma. I've been making videos on YouTube since 2018, I think. And I usually make content about tarot, about spirituality, about anything witchy and woo woo. And today I want to focus on energy work. But you do have a huge backlog of tarot instructional videos and all of that good stuff. So, two things before I start outlining the practice that we will do today to you. Number one, I will tell you honestly that energy work is something you either unlock through practice or it is something you have a natural tendency towards, possibly. For me, I didn't really start doing conscious energy work until about 5 years into my spiritual practice. And that is a long time for it to take. But I think it's because I was doing it unconsciously and didn't really know what energy work was and didn't really consider what I did energy work. So maybe you are the same way. Maybe you're going through the motions of calling in energies, sending out energies, but you never really considered the possibility that you actually feel those energies within yourself. And also work with them with your hands, possibly. So do not pressure yourself if this practice doesn't work for you yet. That doesn't mean it's never going to work, but I believe in you. So there's no harm in trying. It's an exploration of your skill, of your talent in relation to energy work. Either way, it will be a great experience for you and your little spiritual portfolio, and it will be a fun thing to try. If it doesn't work, I would suggest going back to meditation, working with your intuition, doing your shadow work, because this general awareness work that brings us into surrendering, into that kind of alpha brainwave state, all of that is kind of required to tap into energy work at the beginning. That path will, in my experience, actually lead you very naturally to be more perceptive of the energies around you. So hopefully, if it doesn't work for you now, it will work for you at some point if you stick with your practice. But I don't want to be a negative Nelly. I think it's a really simple practice, and I'm sure you will be able to do it. I believe in you. With all of that being said, I do believe for some people it will be easier to unlock the ability to feel energies, whether that is to see them with their third eye or to feel them with their hands, which is mostly what I do. I do a combination of both. And for other people, it will be more difficult. So that's exciting, right? It's exciting to see what comes of it. And the second thing I want to tell you is that the practice that I am about to tell you about is the first of 6 practices that I have in my Me Time guide for more self-love. This guide is designed to give you the best, most fulfilling me time you've ever had. It's a little spiritual mini retreat that you can do on your own time. It takes about 2 hours. And it has journaling prompts, affirmations, belief system work, and also, of course, this energetic practice. So if you are interested in that, if you are overdue for some spiritual me time, then check that out. It's right under this video and it's on my website. You will find that really easily. I trust you. All right, now let's dive in. I will outline the practice. And I will just say right now, it will be a lot easier, as I said, if you have experience with meditation. And it may even take some innate talent of working energy with your hands. But I believe if you're drawn to this practice and if you listen to me now and it makes sense to you and it seems appealing to you, that means that you should try it and that it might be good for you and it might be right for you, even if it works out in a different way than I'm describing. I don't mean to be prescriptive here. I will describe how I do it, but you are free to do what you want in your spiritual practice. That's the beautiful thing. There's nothing that forces us to do anything in witchcraft or in spiritual work. All right, because it is all about exploration in the end. And even if your first reaction to me outlining this is, that sounds weird, you can still try it. Just do it. Just do it. Just explore. Just have fun. Quick origin story for this practice. I have been actively practicing tarot and other spiritual and witchy practices since 2017. And around 2021, I hit a bit of a roadblock where I felt like my practice was dragging on. It wasn't really aligning anymore. And I found myself less and less reading tarot for myself, meditating, all of these things. I just kind of it dwindled away, as it does. And I felt like there was something missing. Then a few years ago, I decided, after a huge spiritual slump where I did nothing essentially, I decided to just sit down, meditate, and see what happens. And pretty quickly, I noticed something that I hadn't been able to do before, which is that I started kind of seeing and feeling energies with my mind's eye, but also kind of feeling them with my hands if I paid attention to them. And that is even though I spent a long time not even meditating before that. But before that, I had an okay meditation routine, an okay spiritual routine. So I think this is a perfect intro technique. If you're in a slump, if you've never done stuff like this, I think it's good. So I could feel and see my own emotions in my meditation quite clearly. And more specifically, I could see them as shapes, essentially, that I could feel with my hands and see them with my mind's eye. I could then work with those energies with my hands and clear them out. And I know that this sounds very conceptual, but I will walk you through it, and I believe in you. You will be able to do it too. Because we are working with our mind's eye and our hands, which is like a mix of, working with shapes, working with your hands and your intuition, I decided to call it energetic shaping. Maybe I will rename it. I have never seen anyone explain it like this. Maybe it's out there. It's probably out there. This just came to me on my own. So I figured I will name it something. If you have a better idea to call it, let me know in the comments. All right, let's take a little hydration break because this video is unedited. Remember to hydrate. Drink your tea, drink your water, drink your whatever you have at hand, and feel the nice hydration going down your throat. All right, and do remember to like this video. It does help. Subscribe. And if you want to, if you're ready for this, drop a little fire emoji in the comments, and then we can get the conversation going. So I will outline this practice. You don't have to do it right now alongside me. I don't think that will work. So just take a piece of paper and note down what I'm saying so you know what to do later. First of all, take time and space for yourself the same way you would for a meditation. That means make sure you are not disturbed. Make sure it is warm and cozy. You don't have a draft hitting you that is distracting you. Make sure your basic needs are taken care of, which means whether that's food, you're hungry, or you need the bathroom or anything like that, we want all of that done so you're in a good state to go into a meditation. And at least that is what we want to do the first time. I think as you get more experience with this practice, you can do it when you're in distress too. You can do it when you are angry, when you are sad. But I think for the first exploration, you should be in a relatively neutral baseline state so that you can first gather some experience. And then later, when you need this practice in a time of distress, you can then, do it too. All right. So settle into a position that makes sense for you as you would in a meditation. I like to sit up because it makes working with my hands easier, but you can also lie down as long as you have your hands, available to work with. There must be space in front of your hands. The next steps, as I said, note them down for you and you can try it after the video. If you struggle with your rational mind coming online whenever you try to do meditation or a reflection or something, just make sure that you tell your rational mind that you are safe and that it can, take a little bit of a back seat and that you are going exploring. So you could start with an affirmation and say something like, I dedicate myself to exploring this practice. My rational mind quiets down. I am safe and protected, and my intuition and innate ability of working with energy come to the surface. I know it's quite a long sentence. You can you can put it into parts as well, cut it up into parts or something. But all we want is that your rational mind is not so at the forefront and not like, what are you doing? This is strange. Why are you imagining things? Let's not do that. Then, as you begin the practice, you close your eyes and do as many deep breaths as you need to kind of find your center, to relax and to feel fully present with yourself and your inner world. You could also do a body scan meditation to start this off, because I feel like after a body scan meditation or after you imagine a light going through your body, you are in an even more relaxed state and in tune with your body. It depends on your experience level with meditation. For me, it's often enough to just take a few deep breaths because my body is used to it, but you might need to train that first. Depends on how often you meditate, as I said. Gosh, I just remembered that I didn't redo my lipstick. I don't know what it looks like. I had a lot of food. If I still have food on my mouth, excuse me. All right. So when you feel that calm, meditative feeling wash over you, that is when you are ready to begin the practice fully. I want you to focus on 2 points then. As you are closing your eyes and you are in your mind's eye, essentially, first, I want you to feel the energy in front of your head, in front of your third eye. You can feel that just with your mind, with your eyes closed, or you can also use your hand and kind of feel like, what does that feel like? What does the energy feel like? Because you can probably maybe feel it. And then the second point I want you to focus on is this area and the area in front of it. So don't focus on your body, don't focus on your forehead, focus on the energy in front of you. I feel like that's a good beginning stage to kind of start feeling energy, because you can feel the energy in front of your body quite clearly, in front of your throat and heart, maybe, and in front of your third eye as well. And that is the first part of it. So that is where I most strongly feel essentially those emotions that we want to work with. For you, it might be different. Just try around, just try to really, feel the energy coming together in front of your body. So as you are then in this state of relaxation, you can start to focus on these areas in front of you, and you might see colors or shapes that start to manifest. They might manifest right in front of, these energy fields, or they might manifest a bit more further to the front of you. And that is what we want to work with. If you don't feel those energies, don't worry. We will get to that in a second. So the shapes that you will start to see slash feel slash intuit will take any shape that you could imagine. So it could be a long stick, it could be a heavy ball of energy, it could be a soft, fluffy cloud of energy, it could be a tangled mess of strands going around each other. You don't need to see all of it right away. It's an exploration and it's a process. So sometimes you will only fully understand the shape once you are able to touch it with your hands. But at first, we just want to see if you can, see it without necessarily moving the hands. Now, the most important thing here is that you trust yourself. I already said about the rational mind, because this is where the rational mind will come in and be like, what are you doing? Why are you imagining a ball? Don't you think it's more of a square? Don't you think there's nothing there actually? Don't you think it's like this or like that or blah, 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 blah? That is your rational mind trying to take control and trying to, influence you. And we don't want that. So quiet that down. Tell your rational mind, not now, babe. I need you at work, but not right now. I'm exploring. And then trust yourself and trust what you see. If you do see nothing at first or it's difficult, then try, like, don't give up, stay with it, and try using your hands, or looking around. Try looking around on your left side, on your right side, if you feel more or less energy there. And then you can also, in the next step, really start using your hands. You can do it if you do see the energy, or you can do it if you don't see it. In both cases, use your hands, because your hands might make things much more clear. You can also rub your hands together. I can't do that right now because of the microphone, but you can rub them together gently until you feel the energy kind of building, and that will sort of bring more awareness in your hands, so that when you use them, you are more able to feel the energy. So put them out in front of you and start working with that shape that you see or don't see, and start exploring it. This is where it really becomes an open playing field for you and where it gets fun. Explore the shape with your hands, feel what it looks like, feel how it reacts to the movement of your hands. What feels right? Does it feel right to poke it? Does it feel right to expand it? Does it feel right to just hold it maybe? Feel the weight of it. See which movements really feel right and which ones might feel wrong to you. Do you want to push it away? Do you want to pull it in? All of these are possibilities. So you focus now on what that shape needs from you, what you can give it with your hands. I will give you some examples of what I have experienced, so you have a direction to think in, because I know that if you've never done this before, you might be a bit limited with what you are thinking. So recently I had a shape that was like a big, long strand of energy that I saw, kind of like hair hanging down from one point. And once I felt that, which was, as I said, always a mix between my mind's eye seeing it and my hands feeling the energy, I just started moving my hands to start to see what feels right. So I could have like cut it off, I could have like yanked on it, but what felt right was to sort of detangle it with my hand. And you will notice that, like, you will kind of start to do and kind of intend to do certain hand movements, and you really got to feel in your chest like that movement is wrong. I need to try something different. Just go with the flow and trust that process of you knowing what is right and what is wrong. Because in spirituality, in witchcraft, you just have to trust yourself. That is the most important thing, to not question yourself, but go with what the flow is kind of expecting of you. Another time I had like a big round shape that I just needed to hold with both hands for a while. That is also a possibility. It's a possibility that you need to hold it for quite a while and not do anything with it, and just feel the weight of it. So that is what I mean with keeping an open mind and trusting yourself to know what's right, and to not be like, oh, I'm just holding it. I need to do something. I should be doing something. Don't freak out. Don't get rational. Just do what feels right and what flows right. There is no right thing. And then I realized, okay, I need to pour some energy into it. So I did. I created a feeling within myself. And then I poured that into it and felt that it expanded, and felt that with my hands, and followed that expansion. And then I don't even know what I did. I sent it out maybe, or I drew it in, whatever felt right. I do not remember right now. It's really a trial and error sort of practice that teaches you how to feel and manipulate energy to increase your comfort. Because once you are done, and you will know when you are done with a shape, you will know when you are done. And when you are done, you will feel it, and you will feel a lot better. You can come out of that meditation. It can take some time, so don't rush it. Don't rush it. Just go with what the shape needs. Sometimes emotions can, of course, come up during this because the shapes might be literal emotional baggage that you carry. So feel that. Don't suppress the emotions. You want to really be present with them as you handle the energetic shape, and just trust the process. I know I keep saying that and it sounds like a platitude, but you really have to trust yourself and you have to trust the process with this. Sometimes you just need to sit with the shape and give it some comfort. And when you feel ready to manipulate it, you do that, or you send it away, or you change its color. That's also another thing. If you do see color, you can change that too. If you see like a black stick in front of you, you might be like, oh, I think it needs to be cleaned a little bit and then coated in some new energy, or it needs to be broken into two halves. All of that is possible, literally everything that you can imagine. So the possibilities are really endless. And then at the end of the practice, as I said, you just let it go lovingly. You will feel in your chest like a feeling of completion. Usually, that's how it feels to me. Let me know if it's different for you. I would love to hear your experience in the comments. And then you are done with the practice. And then usually I feel like it was kind of an energetic and emotional release at the same time for me. And I feel very calm, and I feel like I did something with my hands and it was, wholesome and spiritual and just feels good. So I hope you try it. And if you do like it, please, please, please do write in the comments. I would love to hear your experience, because I also cannot gauge whether this practice is something that other people can do or if it's something that I can do because I've been doing it for a while. I'm not sure. And do consider also taking a look at my me time guide that I mentioned earlier on my website. As I said, this was the first practice that I gave you as a little gift, and there are 5 more practices in that to give you a really fulfilling 2 hours of spiritual, philosophical me time. And I hope you enjoy it. And I also have a Patreon. I haven't mentioned that yet. So if you want more journaling prompts, more affirmations, more tarot workings, there's also my Patreon that you can join. I would love, love, love to see you over there. And I thank you so, so much for being here till now. Thank you. And I hope that I get to talk to you in the comments. Kindly consider taking a look at my website, at my Patreon. And that is all for me. Thank you so, so much for being with me.